Woohoo! And we're off to a roaring start already with two people looking on from X. So thank you very much for watching us. Hi, my name is Coach Les, and I am here with Mr. Yarwood from Yarwood's Martial Arts on his program that we have teamed up on called YMA Mat Chat. And today we are going to be discussing reliability. And I believe, are we episode 40 today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and I got it right. Amazing. Wow. And that was from memory. So my memory must be working today. Yes. We are going to be discussing reliability today. And what is that? So Mr. Yarwood has defined it as being reliable is a strength, a quiet strength that commands respect in both life and martial arts. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency, trustworthiness, and my favorite, integrity. With that, Mr. Yarwood, I'm going to hand the mic over to you to get us started.
Yeah, so I'm a big reliability guy. For me, I think we kind of touched on a little bit in some of the other podcasts that we've had with relationships, with integrity. They're all kind of interwoven, and being reliable is, I think, something that is so important because it's basically your word, right? What you say should be what you do. And if you tell somebody you're going to do something, or if you're going to be somewhere, or if you're going to, whatever it is, it's key that you follow up and do it. Because what happens is if you become that person somebody asks you to do something, you say you're going to do it, and then you don't show up, it kind of has a detrimental effect on your relationship with them, because they're going to stop asking you for stuff. They're going to stop being thinking about you as somebody that they can count on when they really truly need you, right? Especially if it's just like a little favor that they ask of you and you still can't get it done. It's gonna be a struggle. I have a specific story. My son last week. So Coach Les and I are part of a BNI networking group, and every week, every Wednesday, we go to this meeting and we spend a couple hours networking with other business owners in our area. And there's a policy that they have that you are required to be there every week. You're allowed, 3 absences in a 6-month period or something like that before they put you on probation or whatever. So if you're not able to be there, you can have somebody come in and sub for you, and then that counts as attendance. So one of our members asked my son if he would substitute for him. And my son, after a couple days, figured out that he was able to. So he said, yes, he would. Tuesday, the day before the meeting, he got somebody else from that same meeting request that he sub for them. And he also had another event that was supposed to be happening right after that meeting on Wednesday that he was kind of concerned he would miss or whatever. And he had come to me, it's like, do I really need to be there? Or can I, go do something else? And I said, well, you've already told this person that you're going to be there. You gave them your word that you were going to substitute for them, and that's how it goes. I know there's going to be some inconvenience to you, but you've already said that you're going to be there. So he's like, okay, he made the right decision and went in and substituted for him. Well, to me, that looks like reliability. You say you're going to do something for somebody, and then you do it, regardless of how it becomes inconvenient for you, or maybe there's other things that you would rather be doing. Making that decision to do the thing you said you were going to do is a huge part of your character. It's a huge part of relationships with other people. So being reliable is a big part of success, I believe.
And for those of you watching online, I did just put the link up to the Absolute Connections BNI network that we're both a member of. To give you an eye, it's Business Network International, and it is around the globe. And we happen to belong to the largest one of the top 5, I believe, largest ones in the nation, with over 100 members. And this week we had 120 people in the room with 17 visitors. And we are, it really is an opportunity to bring a whole new level of authenticity and integrity into networking, as Mr. Yarwood said. And people often ask me, Coach Les, why are you in it? You know, I've been in there for almost 8 or 9 years now, 9 years. And I let people know, for me, it's the one place that after having been in the military and having that almost militaristic guidance of the way my day, week, month, year is going to, excuse me, is going to go, BNI offered this very practical, logical, straightforward, by the numbers approach to networking. And as Mr. Yarwood pointed out, the reliability factor of the people in the group being reliable. Does it mean they're perfect? No, doesn't mean they're perfect. Does it mean that they're going to make mistakes? Most likely, we all do as human beings. What you can count on and what you can be relied on for in this particular group is that people will make sure that you are happy at the end of what they offer. And if not, there's a code of ethics that we abide by. And for me, it was a way to step up my game to make sure that as an individual, I was, excuse me, just one moment here. Just trying to get my head out of the immediate sun that's coming at me. What I saw available for me in that was that it really gave me a place that I could connect and make sure that I was reliable and consistent for showing up by the time allotted, getting into my seat, doing the things that are necessary, one-on-one meetings, group meetings, passing referrals, accepting a referral, supporting other people, growing their businesses. And I look at what being on the mats and being reliable for learning martial arts and having it be something that I know challenges my body, and I can reliably, absolutely be consistent with it. It's going to push me to the limit. It's going to cause me to step beyond who I know myself as. Being dependable, being, growing up and learning how to be an instructor as part of the process of becoming a senior belt. And, I was injured and took almost a year off, and being able to come back and know that the training it's consistent, it's reliable, it's exactly the same as it was when I left. And it's something that I can count on. Much like BNI as a networking organization is, martial arts is, this is how your foot goes, this is how your arm goes, this is how your breathing goes, this is how your posture goes, this is how you defend, this is how you attack, this is how you block. All of these variables become a way to stretch who you are as an individual and how you interact with the world.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, because when you talk about reliability and consistency, knowing exactly what to expect and what you're going to get out of it, knowing from form to form, move to move, It's going to be consistent, and you can rely on the instructors to be able to train you the way that is going to be beneficial to your improvement, to your advancement, and to your you got the obviously the physical aspect of it where you're getting physically stronger, you're getting physically more flexible, you're whatever, but you're also your mental fortitude is being strengthened as well. Learning about a lot of the stuff we've already gone over in several of our podcasts, right? To talk about all the different things that you're learning. I look at it from a parent's perspective. They can rely on us to teach them and their children life skills, how to be confident, how to have discipline, how to have respect, how to have integrity, be in control of themselves, all those things. And being in a position that I can provide that and they can rely on myself and my instructors to teach that is a huge benefit to them as parents, because they know that their kids are getting something that is not just a now thing, it's a future thing too. Even if they're no longer doing martial arts, as they move on, everything that they're learning is going to be something that they can take with them for the rest of their lives. And to me, that's an important aspect of what we're doing. So I take that reliability piece pretty seriously, because I want parents to be able to rely on us to teach their kids the things that they're looking for.
So as we look at this, we looked at there are three things for in life and three in martial arts. The three, and there's crossover, by the way, for those of you listening, there's crossover into both categories here. But in life, trust builder, reliability is the foundation of trust. Mr. Yarwood shared several examples in his own life. People count on you to do what you say, to be there when it matters, and to follow through, even when it's inconvenient. 2, a leadership quality. Reliable people are often looked to as leaders, not because they seek attention, but because others feel safe following them and respect them.
For sure.
3, character marker. Your word becomes your bond. In a world full of noise, reliability makes you stand out as someone solid, grounded, and true. And then in martial arts, consistency and training, showing up even on the hard days, when you don't want to, when you're tired, when you're sore. Build skill, stamina, and spirit. That's how the black belts are made. 2, dependable partner. In sparring or drills, your partner needs to know you'll train with focus, control, and commitment. That trust is a mutual growth. It is also a safety issue, right? If you're sparring with somebody that's out of control, not reliable, and isn't going to be dependable, you could get injured. Yep. Even though we're in protective gear, even though we're using protective weapons, you can still get injured. And then lastly, the instructor's trust, right? Instructors rely on dedicated students to uphold standards, mentor others, and represent the school's values.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, because when kids are at school, when they're at home, wherever they are outside of the dojo, they have to understand that what they represent. It starts with them first, right? Then they represent their family. They represent their community. They represent Yarwood's martial arts. They represent there's so many different things that they are connected to, that they have representation for, right? And as the school owner, as my name is on the patch, whatever, I rely on them to go out there and represent us as a school in a positive light, right? Because if they're out doing things that they're not supposed to do, and then people find out that they go to Yarwood's martial arts and go, if that's how they're training at Yarwood's martial arts, I would never want my kid to go there, right? That's a huge thing. So I instill in them the understanding that Everywhere you go, everything you do, you represent all of these things. It's not just you, right? It sends a message to everybody around you of the type of person you are and the type of people that you are surrounded by that are mentoring you and training you.
Yeah. Being reliable means you're there when it counts. On the mat, in a relationship, in a moment of challenge. It's an invisible armor that builds respect without saying a word. Mm,
Sends a message.
it does, very much so. So when we look at, so now I'm going to jump into uh, a small business from a small business aspect. That reliability is that you are going to deliver the product you promised at the time you promised, at the level that there is an expectation of integrity, honoring your word even when it isn't easy.
And if you make a mistake, following up and fixing it.
Yeah.
Because in the end, all you really have is your word, what you say. Because if you don't follow up with what you say, what have you got? Nobody's going to believe you in anything else. And I think it sends an even stronger message when it inconveniences you, yet you still do it because you know that you're supposed to and you know that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I think another way that it is, uh, reliability, another way that it's referred to is dependability. It's crucial for a business's success because it fosters trust, builds strong customer relationships, and by consistently delivering on those promises and meeting expectations, businesses establish this reputation for trustworthiness. Does it mean you're perfect? No. Do you mean you have a halo? No. It just, what it does though, it creates a space for increased loyalty, customer loyalty, and repeat business.
Yeah, ultimately, relationships that you build within your business, that's what's going to grow your business, right? Everybody thinks about it as, okay, the more customers I have, the better it's going to be. Well, sure, but what are those customers? Are they one-time customers, but they don't come back because, well, they had an okay experience, but they can find something else somewhere else? Or are you building a relationship with them that they talk about you to their friends? They tell, hey, this is the place you need to go. We have students, families in our school that they have friends who are thinking about going to another martial arts school, and they said, no, you got to go to Yards Martial Arts. There's no other place to go. It doesn't matter if you have to drive past, because we have students who drive past two other martial arts schools to get to our school because of what we offer, and that they can rely on us to do what we say we're going to do, that we're going to give them the training and the life skill stuff that they're looking for. We have our referral network is growing like crazy. We have so many internal students, that have come from a referral from other students. And that referral thing is what has really been kicking into gear. And people aren't going to refer you if they don't trust you, if they can't rely on you, if you're not doing the things that they are expecting from you. They're not going to say things to other people about you, right? Because that puts their reliability in jeopardy. right? If they're telling their friends, you got to go here, and then that person shows up and they don't get what was told, that not only affects that small business, but that affects the person that referred them to that small business. So it has an impact much deeper than just on that business.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that is missed in this reliability is being reliable to have grace for people. To literally have that space of forgiveness, right? There's many places we could look in religion, in many motivational stuff about forgiveness and forgiving somebody when they make a mistake. Why? Because otherwise, if you consider them a rat because they did something unreliable, now if you don't forgive them, you're looking at it's like you're trying to eat rat poison hoping they die. So you're polluting yourself. So part of this being reliable, that hey, you have the space to forgive somebody, you have the space, the grace to allow somebody.
Yeah, it's reliability is tied up with so many other things. It doesn't stand alone because there's so many different opportunities that are built within that. Like we talked about with the integrity piece, with the consistency piece, with respect, with all these things, and if people come to understand the type of person that you are and the way you carry yourself, and the fact that you do give grace when there are mistakes made, right? You're not rigid in that, you are one way and that's it, and there's no other way. It how you are, what your character is part of the reliability that people have in you. Oh, excuse me. And it, I think it can be taught for sure. That here's the deal: you need to, like when we're raising our children, you teach them. You can tell them about being reliable, but you show them, and that's even more important. Like when you're being on time, talk to your kids about being on time, but don't. If you tell them they need to be to school on time, they need to do this on time, that on time, but you don't do it, you're late to getting them to school, you're late to picking them up from school, you are late to their events, whatever. When you're telling them that they need to be on time, but you yourself aren't doing it, that becomes an issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Very powerful. Hmm. Yep.
Children rely on us to teach them how they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to act. And if we aren't reliable in that, then they're going to be learning things that have detrimental effect to them in their future.
Yeah. As I was looking through some of this, I went to, now what did I just do with it? There we go. I looked at some other things around, reliability and how it contributes to a successful business, some of which we've already spoken about: building trust, positive word of mouth. Reliable businesses encourage positive word of mouth referrals, as satisfied customers are more likely to recommend the business to others. Customer loyalty. We have a loyalty program at Cullen's Ice Cream. Reliability leads to higher customer satisfaction and loyalty as customers feel confident in the quality and consistency of the product or service. We are reliable for delivering that. Improved operational efficiency. By consistently delivering on commitments, businesses can streamline processes and avoid costly delays or errors. Stronger brand reputation. The reputation for reliability enhances the overall brand image and strengthens the company's position in the market, i.e., on social media. Reduce risk. Reliable businesses are less likely to face reputational damage or costly legal issues due to broken promises or failures if you are reliable. And lastly, this one is great, employee satisfaction. Reliable businesses are more likely to have satisfied and engaged employees.
And I think that's probably, of all the ones you listed, is probably the most important, because your employees are the representation of your business in person with your customers. And if your employees can't rely on you as their employer, or how you treat them, how you interact with them, that reflects on how they treat your customers. Because if they're not happy at their workplace, that comes across, right? They can sometimes subconsciously, but even consciously, affect your business because of how they interact with their customers based on how you interact with them as their employer. And if they're not happy in what they're doing, they can sabotage your business. So if you are treating your employer or your employees in such a way that they can't rely on you to support them, to get them the things that they need to be able to do their job, they're not going to be loyal to you, and they're not going to support you, and they're going to have a detrimental effect on your business. So being a reliable employer is huge, because that travels downstream to your customers. On the other hand, if you have employees who love their job and they can't wait to get there, they can't wait to do their thing, that reflects on you as well, right? And then your customers see that. You got employees that come into your ice cream store, for example, and that they get greeted and how's it going? They remember their name, maybe their favorite ice cream. The person scooping the ice cream loves that they get to do that. They help kids, they make kids smile, whatever. That reflects on your business, and people want to be there more because they feel like they're part of what's going on, and they're not just a customer in their store.
Yeah.
And then they can rely on that when they come into their store, that they're going to be treated that way every single time. And when you have that consistency in how you do things, I mean, that's how we are at our school. All of our new students, right? I make sure everybody knows all the students' names. They know who the parents are. They know all of that stuff. They get treated and greeted when they come in the door. Hello, how's it going? How's your day going? They know every single time that they come into our school that that's how they're going to be treated. They rely on it, right?
And it is that reliability which pulls people out of the normal everyday life where we don't know what's reliable at this time. I mean, we could spend a whole day on that.
Yeah.
Politics, government, everything. So, yeah, it's beautiful. So with that, I think, Mr. Yarwood, I think it's time to wrap it up. Any final words?
I guess just do what you say what you do what you say what you do, right? Just do it. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Be a man of or woman or whoever of your word. And I think that in and of itself will make a lot of other things a lot easier in your life.
All right. Well, with that, I just want to say thank you. I was just checking to see if there are any other notes. I want to thank the people that joined us from X today and are listening in on X. Thank you so much. And as you can see, I've had Yarwood's Martial Arts website up. For those of you that are feeling generous today, this is the YMA Legacy Foundation, 501c3 that you can donate to if you like. Let's see. Here we go. Come on. Media assets. Here we go.